Hello, everyone.
Here we go. Hey guys, it's me, and you know who this is. So
Yep, this is
yeah,
gonna
sorry
be
about that, guys. I fell asleep. Yeah, I fell asleep.
oh, sure, Jay. Okay. Oh, yeah.
I got up at 1 in the morning, went to the gym.
That's about when I went to bed.
I went to the gym and came back, and it was like 4 o'clock. So I took a quick shower, got everything set up,
Hmm.
and I was just gonna lay down. And all of a sudden, I just fell asleep. So,
It's all right.
so yeah.
Anyways, welcome to our new show. This is a
Yeah,
brand new show that we're doing now.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is called Days Gone By. Basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through specific years every single episode. This one is quite special for Jay, um, or better known as Cerebral Palsy Gamer. Because well, just tell him what 1985 means to you, Jay.
Uh, the winter of 1985, I came to America. I was 5 years old. My brother was 3.5 years old, I think. So,
Mhm.
so yeah.
So that was like around this time in 1985, right?
Well,
Or was it like November, December of 85?
it was at the end of November.
Okay, okay. So we're just going to be going through a little bit of what special things happened in 1985, and Jay can share some of his experiences too.
I mean, I mean, I didn't do any research on 1985, but I know exactly what me
Okay.
and my brother got in 1985. And
Yeah, I mean,
that was
you guys
the,
got your first gaming system too when you moved here, right?
huh?
You guys got your first gaming system when you came here, right?
That was the first thing we got.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the Nintendo Entertainment System. And that was,
NES. Okay.
and man, that was great. I remember me and our parents got it that
It was just released in North America in
in
just like a month
1985. Yeah.
before. So, but it
But
was
yeah,
it was released in Japan like a couple years earlier. So.
yeah, in Japan it was called the Famicom,
Mm-hmm.
and they had it about a year and a half earlier than us. Right now, I have a Famicom also with the Nintendo. Yeah, but the reason why we got that Nintendo is me and my brother, we were in school, and my parents looked at our report cards, and we didn't get good grades, so that's why they go, all right, we can get you one. But the other reason is, and back in the 80s, parents used to leave their kids all by themselves at home so
Mm-hmm.
that they can go to work.
Yep.
And my parents, they both came to the country with nothing with
Okay.
nothing. That's why my parents had to go to work. And me and my brother, we had nothing to do at home. Instead of watch TV, they go, here you go, here's the Nintendo, blah, blah, blah. We got the Nintendo. We got good grades too, so
Yeah.
it was a gift from our parents. And I remember the first time me and my brother turned it on. And At that time, the Nintendo King was 2 games:
What were the two games?
Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt. Okay.
We got that special edition Nintendo where it came with 2 controllers and the light gun,
Mm-hmm.
and that was great.
And my dad. I'm just speaking on my dad's behalf because they were both. I mean, we were just talking about this last night. 1985. He didn't have any video games. I mean, this was still a time where you could go to the arcade and still play arcade games. So,
Yes.
and he didn't have one at home, but he would go to friends' house, or I think it's more acquaintances rather than friends.
Yeah.
And he would play an Atari 2600.
Oh, yeah. I think one of our friends had that.
Hello, Mile Marker. How's it going?
Hey, Miles, how you doing? Yeah, sorry about how early this is. But, so, yeah. Getting back to the Atari.
Mm-hmm.
Did
What
you
was your
know
favorite game? What was your favorite game on the
Nintendo-
Atari?
The video game market in the early 80s crashed
Mm-hmm.
before the Nintendo came.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when the Nintendo came, it started a revolution all over again about gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before that, they were burying all the copies of E.T. on the Atari.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted to play it. Nobody wanted to play the Atari anymore.
Yeah. Well, because it's still just very blocky, very
Yeah,
still considered
graphics
long. I
were
mean,
not that great.
and they had the old fashioned
Yeah.
joystick as well with the joystick and the one fire button. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that was my first experience of America right there.
There you go. And where did you move to?
We came from Korea. We landed in Houston, Texas,
Okay.
and we
Hey,
stayed.
at least the Oilers were still in Houston at that point.
At that time, I didn't know nothing about football. We just came from Korea. My mom's older sister and younger sister. Well, no, my mom's the youngest out of 9 kids.
Big family.
Oh yeah, really big. But at that time, the second oldest and the second youngest above my mom, they all lived in Houston, Texas.
Okay. So at least
we came-
family was close that time.
Yeah, we came to Houston. But 5 months later, my mom's sister right above her, she moved back to California. And
you
they
followed
told
them?
us to come to California. And we did come to California. But a month later, they go, oh, we're going to go back to Houston, Texas. And my parents are like, what the hell? You asked us to come to California. Now you guys are moving back to Texas. And my parents did not want to move back to Texas. They were thinking about me and my brother already made friends here. We already went to school here. So it didn't make sense. So from that point, it was only me, my brother, my mom, and my dad, and no family in California.
Mile Marker asks, so you arrived in 85, then to California. How old were you when you moved here?
I was 5. Actually, I was 5 years old.
And then when
Yeah,
you
I
moved
remember
to
that.
California, you were 6 at that time?
No. We landed in Houston in July of 1985, and
Okay.
6 months later we
Like
came to,
November, December?
yeah,
Okay.
we landed in California, the Bay Area, and a
In
month
November.
later my aunt moved back to Houston, Texas.
So you were in kindergarten at the time, huh?
Oh yeah, I was in kindergarten, and my brother was in preschool. So,
There you go. Fascinating stuff.
and the rest is history.
Now, I obviously, you probably know what the biggest movie of that year was, right?
Was it the Karate Kid? I think
No.
Ninja Turtles.
Uh-uh. We're sending you back to the future.
Oh, that was 85. I thought that was 86.
Nope. That was 1985. Rocky 4 also came out that year. Rambo Part 2 came out.
Uh, which Rocky? Rocky 4?
4.
I forgot. What was that one about?
That's
Was
the
that
one
the
where
one
that's the one where Apollo Creed dies.
when they go to Russia or something like that?
Yeah, that's where Apollo Creed dies.
That was the best one. I love that one.
I was unfortunately in '85. I was negative 12 years old. I was
Yeah, you were.
I was born in '97, so I was negative 12. My dad, though,
Oh, thank you, Phil. Making me feel old.
my dad was 13 at the time. So
Malton, where were you living in 85?
that's
Really?
my
No.
folks have lived here in the Chicagoland area all their lives.
Okay.
Both of them.
Oh, really?
Both of them have lived in the Chicagoland area for most of their lives. The only time that they did not live here was when my mom, in the early '90s, moved to California for just a little bit, Palmdale
Really?
specifically.
Where in California?
Palmdale. That's like the desert. That's like near Bakersfield. It's in the desert area outside of Los Angeles. There.
Yeah. How long was she here for?
I would say at the most 3 years.
Okay.
But once her parents died, she moved back and never moved back. So.
Okay, so your grandparents died here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my dad only moved up to Wisconsin when he was in college. So that's the only time that they've ever lived outside of of Illinois. So, but in '85, both of them were still in Illinois and 7th grade, I believe.
Oh wow. Okay.
This was also the year of the Bears. The
Yes,
Bears.
it was. That was a great team.
You're a Packer fan, though.
Yeah, but at that time I didn't know nothing about football.
I know.
You know, at 5, I still thought football was soccer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the biggest sports memory my parents have that year is the Bears. I mean,
yeah, but do you know?
I think '85 was also the year that the Kansas City Royals won the World Series.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Who was the?
I think the Kansas City Royals won against the St. Louis Cardinals, so it was a cross-state World Series.
And I believe the president of the United States was
it was Reagan.
Yeah, Republican.
Yep, it was Ronald Reagan.
I still say he was the best president we ever had.
I'm not going to go into that, but I think for living at that time and not knowing much about that time, you know, my dad still concludes that, and not knowing what politics were at the time, it was a great time to grow up. Um,
Oh, I loved growing up in the 80s.
hmm
I did. You didn't have to worry about anything outside.
Except the lawn darts.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Except the lawn darts, which will impale you in the head.
Yeah, that's dangerous. But back in the day, I used to go outside, fly kites, run around with friends, and all that stuff. These days, these
Marysville.
kids, if you want to talk to your friend, back in the day, you would actually have to get your butt up, walk outside, walk walk to your friend's house,
Mhm.
and see if they're there. Now these kids have smartphones.
And usually, and this is something that my well, we're not going to go into politics. We're not going to talk about politics. We're just going to mention that Reagan was the president at the time. We're
In
not going to
my opinion, that was the greatest.
time to grow up.
Yeah.
Um,
Now you guys have. Now you go outside. You have to worry about bad people. You gotta think about what you're gonna do.
I was raised by Gen X. They treated me very much like they were treated. Just go outside. We'll monitor you if we have to.
Yeah. My parents go. You can go outside, go out, play with your friends.
Mile marker was a yuppie. Okay.
What the? I don't know what that means, but what is a yuppie?
Hippie.
Okay, so in the 70s, man, I wish I was back in the 70s. I love the bell bottoms.
Hey, in the 80s, you had the parachute pants and the shoulder pads and the big hair.
Yeah. Don't remind me. That was so embarrassing.
And then you had to wear the leg warmers and the armbands.
Yeah, see, I had a pair of parachute pants. It was not great.
Yep.
It wasn't good. It was not good at all.
But in terms of entertainment wise, outside of Back to the Future, I mean, you had the Live Aid performance.
Oh yeah, you
I
did.
mean, Queen's 1985 Live Aid performance is still considered the best live performance of all time by many.
Yeah, you can't argue about that.
I mean, I don't know of anyone else that can make an entire, 80,000 seat arena sing with him.
Michael Jackson.
But to do it in such a way that is so captivating and just draws everyone in. I mean, Freddie Mercury had that.
Yeah, he did.
And then this is also the year of We Are the World. USA for Africa. Huh?
I didn't like that song at all either. We Are the World.
Well, We Are the World inspired Live Aid.
Yeah. Yeah, 80s were the best decade by far.
I mean, just think about some of the songs that came out that year too. I mean, some of the biggest songs of the '80s came out that year as well.
Yeah, the biggest in the 80s. Yeah.
You had Like a Virgin came out in '85. Madonna. And then you had Careless Whisper by Wham. Wake Me Up Before You Go. Also came out in the '85.
I love that group.
And then We Built This City. That's another one that came out in '85. Mm-hmm.
And what didn't beat it? Beat
Nope,
It?
that was 83.
Or I
Beat It,
know Michael
Beat It,
Jackson had a #1 hit.
that Beat It, Billie Jean, and Thriller all came out on the Thriller album in 83.
But I know there was one in '85. I can't remember.
Yeah, he wrote We Are the World.
And there was one more, but I can't remember. Or am
I
I thinking about a different year?
You're probably thinking a different year because outside of We Are the World, he didn't have another #1 hit, I don't think.
And then, like I said, in '85, there was like a lot of good sitcoms to come on TV.
I mean, you had The Cosby Show, you had
And the Cosby Show was the one record-breaking show back in the day where
oh yeah,
it
broke the yeah.
that was the first ever sitcom to have a whole African American family that show, and that was groundbreaking back in '85. In the '80s, we still had racism back then, and the Cosby broke every single racism
Mm-hmm.
mark. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there was racism, but it was getting better. I wouldn't say it was perfect, but
it wasn't perfect, but it was getting better. But you gotta admit, the Cosby Show was a groundbreaking sitcom.
oh yeah,
To show a father who is African American and also a doctor.
So in 1985, we had Growing Pains on.
I look, see, you cannot.
Golden Girls were also on at that time.
You gotta love that.
MacGyver.
Oh man, that when you're mentioning all these shows,
Just brings you back, huh?
all the memories just flooding back of these TV shows.
Then you had Thundercats.
Oh, stop it, Phil. You are taking me back into the past right now.
The Berenstain Bears.
See, I didn't really like the Berenstain Bears. that was not my show.
How about She-Ra, the Princess of Power?
Morning.
How about She-Ra, the Princess of Power?
That was '85.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Then when did He-Man come out? I know He-Man came out before She-Ra did. Oh. But yeah, every Saturday morning, me and my brother, we were home watching the Saturday morning cartoons. That was
Started
great.
in Masters of the Universe started in 1983.
Okay, so through 2 years later, She-Ra came. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. Do you know that G.I. Joe came out in '85 or was that '80?
Yeah, Joe came out in 83, but it was still on the air at that time.
Yeah, I remember that show.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when toys cost like $8 or $9.
It's still a lot of money even today.
Yeah, but man, the quality was better than what it is today.
True, that's true. But I mean, I think another one that's good. The Breakfast Club also came out that year.
Oh, that was a good
The
movie.
Goonies. The Goonies also came out in '85.
True. That did.
The Color Purple, which is I think one of Whoopi Goldberg's best movies.
Okay. Yeah, I never watched that movie, so
Yeah.
I'm
You're
not.
a bit young. You're a bit young for that. So
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Color Purple. I mean,
And man, even the cars. If you think about the cars back in the day in 1985, the the most the most
Very
iconic
boxy.
the most iconic car has to be the DeLorean.
Yep.
Because it was in the movie Back in the Future, and the movie came out in '85.
Yep.
But
Didn't
in
I
that
think
movie,
it only lasted maybe a year
yeah,
because it had so many technical issues.
I mean that movie lied to me. That really
No,
that movie.
it did not lie to you because at the end of the movie, when he's trying to start it up, he's like, "Ah, come on, you bastard!" That's actually what happened.
No,
with the
but
DeLorean.
the movie lied to me. Where's my flying cars? We should
Okay,
have.
then the third one lied to me then because the third one lied to me because I wanted a train that wanted to go 90 miles an hour so I can travel in the future.
No, that could be true. Still, but you got to go back in the past and get a train. And
Yeah, then I also have to find a
flux capacitor.
flux capacitor.
But yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I mean, you had in the 80s, you also had your wood panel station wagons for family road trips.
Oh, I love those. I love
Ugly as sin, but because I mean, wood paneling on the outside of a car, yeah.
And then you had these 800 numbers where you can call and get like video game tips and stuff like that. And that used to get a lot of kids in trouble. They used to advertise it on Saturday morning cartoons, but the kids don't know it cost $1.99 a minute.
Yep.
And when you get your phone bill the next minute, your parents go, "What is all these charges?"
Yeah. I was just getting advice.
Yeah, on the internet, and most kids would have got their butts whooped.
I mean, what else? Oh, 3-2-1 Contact was on at that time as well.
I love that. I used to love that. You're really taking me back to my childhood right now.
3-2-1 Contact, Doctor Who.
Yeah, the original Doctor Who.
I think Tom Baker was still the doctor at that time. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, and everybody says that I forgot his name again, but the guy who played Doctor Strange in the Marvel
Benedict
movie,
Cumberbatch.
yeah, everybody said he was the best Doctor. I'm like,
He didn't play Doctor Who.
I think he did.
He played Sherlock Holmes.
I think it was Doctor Who also.
No. I've been following his career for a while now, ever since he played that modern day Sherlock Holmes interpretation.
No, I'm sure he played Doctor Who too.
Nope. Because David Tennant, he's a Scottish guy, he played Doctor Who. Forget who else, but no one from.
Okay.
You know David Tennant. He's the guy from. I don't know if you've seen them in Harry Potter movies.
No, I didn't see any of those movies.
Okay.
I read the book.
Yeah, you would know who I'm talking about.
I read the book.
Yeah. If you've seen the movies, you would know who I'm talking about, but you haven't, so not going to worry about that.
But yeah, if you ask any kid in the 80s what they did on Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah, it was Looney Tunes. Mostly.
Well, I think it was like the lineup on Saturday morning cartoons It was Pee Wee Herman, Care Bears.
Oh, Gummy Bears were on at that time too.
Yeah, so now these days they don't make any shows like that anymore. So, and the number one heartthrob was Kirk Cameron from Growing Pains.
So here's a good one. Microsoft in 1985 released Windows 1.0.
85, yeah. And the computers cost like thousands of dollars.
The Nevado del Ruiz volcano erupted in Colombia, killing an estimated 23,000 people.
Wow, really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. And Krista McAuliffe was chosen to be the first teacher to fly in the space shuttle. She was just chosen that year, but she had to go through her training and all that. More of that to come in a later episode.
Oh, really? When did they actually?
They went up in February of '86.
Okay, yeah, and we all know what happened.
We're not going to talk about that right now. We're not going to talk about that because it did not happen in '85.
So, yeah.
Don't spoil anything there, Jay.
I mean, they know. They already know.
Maybe
if
some
they
people
know
don't.
Their history. They know already.
Oh, Studio Ghibli was also founded.
Studio Ghibli?
Yeah. I mean, their first theatrical release was My Neighbor Totoro 3 years later in 1988. So, But Studio Ghibli was founded in 1985.
But yeah, that was
Let's see here.
85 was a great year too.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the 80s were a good decade to grow up in. Kids didn't have to worry about anything. Just be a kid. Just be a kid. Back then, you see kids ride their bikes over to each other's houses. Like I said earlier, we didn't have any cell phone or smartphone. So the way that me and my friends communicated was just walk over to each other's houses. And I have a gripe about that right now. I don't know why these kids cannot walk over to their friends' houses to play.
What's up?
I have a gripe about kids from this generation. Get off your stupid cell phone.
Maybe that's I won't go into a conspiracy theory about that, but that's maybe what the elites want.
And walk over to your friends' houses to play. Like we did.
Yep, like I did. I was raised by Gen X the right way.
Yeah, they would just go out and play.
And only come back in when the lights come on.
And then, yeah.
And then at 10 o'clock, there would be an advertisement on the TV that says, "Are your kids still out?"
Yeah, you're right about that one, yeah.
At 10 o'clock at night, they would say, "Are your kids still out? Check on your kids."
Well, on the weekdays, we had a bedtime, so me and my
But still, it's like really. I mean, that's just how forgetful some parents were.
That's how it was back in the day.
I know, but still, it's remember to find your kids. They are still here.
Yep. But
I don't think the first cell phone was created just yet. I think that was a couple years later.
Oh yeah, that was in 87.
I want to say 87. I want to say.
I think it was 89 because my dad brought it home.
Yeah, I know. It's just big old brick.
Yeah, it was a brick. It was gigantic too.
And heavy.
Oh man! And back in the day, it cost $1,000. And if you think about it, it was
Adjusted
$1,000.
for adjusted for inflation, that's about the price of a typical iPhone today.
Yeah, it is. But you can only make calls. That's it.
That's fine. You know what? You know what my parents used? We used a hillbilly cell phone. Basically, get up on the tallest hill and yell at the top of your lungs and see if there's a response.
Not us. Not me and my parents. Our parents. But where you going? When you coming back?
I think this is also the time. No worries, mile marker. Well, I mean, the big one was, I mean, this is also the time where you had the corded phone going all around the house. So your mom can stay on the phone and still talk on the phone and
I love that. Yeah.
House.
Yeah.
There was no antenna phones back then, so it was just nothing but a cord.
I believe the cordless phone came out like
in the 90s, I want to say.
No, I think in the late 80s, like 88.
No, it's not 85 for sure.
I remember having a cordless phone back in the late 80s also. So.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that at a later point. But if you guys are interested in, actually, there's a Norwegian group that released one of the biggest songs of the 80s that year as well in 1985.
Oh, really? What was that?
Take on Me.
That was Norwegian?
Aha is our Norwegian group. Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Take on me. Take on me.
And back at like
what was school like back at that time?
School?
Yeah.
School.
I only had my experience back in the early 2000s, which is a little bit different. So.
Oh yeah, it was a lot different then. In the late 90s.
I know you probably had the overhead projector. They had to trace everything and write down notes.
We had to take notes at all time.
Well, I mean, but they had the one projector where, they.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was harsh.
Yeah, because it's hard to stay up.
Yeah, it was.
They have to turn off all the lights.
Oh yeah, yes you did. And then all school, if you didn't bring your lunch, the school provide you lunch. Not like today, where they don't. It's optional.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that. I think it still should be that way, but.
And my favorite school lunch was
pizza.
Sloppy Joes.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be pizza.
No, the pizza back in the day sucked. I remember the pizza back in the 80s. They're not good. Not good at all. It was like, it tasted like cardboard.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people say. It's like, it wasn't that great, especially like all the fast food ones, like
Domino's were not that great back in the day. They had pizza. I know that. It was good. But yeah. And Mom said the mid 80s was fun. Let's think.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little bit too young for the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, yeah, Mom, that was your mid-20s. In 85, I was 5, so I wouldn't know anything about the clubs back in the day. But I do remember the clubs they had in school, like the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts,
Chess club.
yeah, chess club, computer club, and in
And
85,
and a thing is the thing as well is that when you had to get your first home computer, you also had to manually punch every single bit of code into the machine in order for you to even just type a freaking document.
oh yeah, yes, he did. Yeah, that was true.
And if you screwed one thing up, you have to restart all over again.
Yep. I don't know how they did it back in the day, dude. I really don't. It's it had to be brutal. It really had to be brutal. The best part about 1985 was that
Oh.
song, right?
That was released in 2004.
Oh, really? That long?
Yeah, the 1985 by Bowling for Soup was released in 2004.
But yeah,
I mean, if you're into country music, I mean, some of the biggest hits. I mean, my dad's favorite country music album came out that year. That was Alabama's 40-Hour Week.
okay.
He loves the group Alabama. And that's probably his favorite album by them that came out that year. Probably the biggest super group of country music history also came out with their biggest hit that year, and that's the Highwaymen.
What?
The Highwaymen came out with their song Highwayman.
Okay.
But think about this, okay? This is like the Traveling Wilburys back in like the 70s for like rock and roll. But this is like a super group of country music. Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, Waylon Jennings, and Johnny Cash.
Out of those names, I already know two.
Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash?
Yep.
Yep. I know you know Waylon Jennings, especially if you're a fan of the Dukes of Hazzard.
That was that guy?
Just a good old boy.
That was him?
Yep, that's Waylon Jennings.
That TV show got me in trouble all the time.
Yeah, Daisy Duke. I mean, come on, man.
No, I got in trouble by my parents. Yeah, I took all my toy cars and tried to push it off a cliff to see if it gets to jump.
Waylon and Willie and the boys.
But yeah.
George Strait also released his couple of his biggest hits that year as well.
Okay.
Now he was getting really big at that time.
Yeah, I bet he was.
George Strait, yeah, he come off the success of Amarillo by Morning.
Yeah.
A couple years before, and released a couple of big hits. The Chair being one of them.
Okay.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
The Judds also were pretty popular at that time.
Okay.
I mean, Kenny Rogers.
I mean, it used to be the heyday of country music back then too. So a lot of big names came out.
A lot of people would claim that 90s country is probably the king of, like, the king decade of country music, but we can agree to disagree. I mean, there's many decades of dominance and greatness from every single decade. So
yeah, there was. So yeah.
I mean, my favorite groups from the 80s made it into the 90s as well. So.
All right.
Alabama, George Strait, um, Randy Travis for sure.
Yeah. I used to listen to Randy Travis all the time.
I don't think he was. I think he started in the late '80s,
Yeah, he was late 80s. I want to say
87,
probably
88, something like that.
89.
Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah.
Let's see here.
But that was the good.
Oh, Ray Charles also released a country music song that went #1 that year.
Ray Charles.
He did a duet with Willie Nelson called Seven Spanish Angels.
I don't remember
Great, great song.
that. Okay.
It is a fantastic song.
Okay. Yeah. See, I don't remember that. So. But yeah, like I said, it was a great decade to grow up in.
Out Blue by Reba was also released that year.
Cool.
Lord have mercy, baby's got her blue jeans on. That's Mel McDaniel's only #1 hit. Baby's got her blue jeans on.
Okay, nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys have anything you want to contribute, go right ahead. So,
I mean, what else? What else was there pop culture wise other than that big Live Aid concert? I think Farm Aid also.
Yeah.
I think Farm Aid started in '85.
Paul McCartney and David Bowie at Live.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right about that one.
That's another one. Mick Jagger and David Bowie did that duet of Dancing in the Street. Although I prefer the original, to be honest with you. I don't like Mick Jagger that much, so.
You don't like Mick Jagger?
He's a Satanist. What do you expect?
But the dude had talent.
And big lips. I mean, so does Steven Tyler.
Yeah, but he had talent. And you can't say nothing about his talent. He had a great voice. I loved it.
Each to their own, but I think David Bowie's a better performer anyway. So that's just me. But in 1985 was the first Farm Aid concert.
Okay.
Held in Champaign, Illinois. This was the lineup: Alabama, Hoyt Axton, the Beach Boys, the Blasters, Bon Jovi, Jimmy Buffett, Glenn Campbell, one of my favorite country artists, Johnny Cash, David Allen Coe, that's a great one, John Conley, the Charlie Daniels Band, oh gosh, and then one of the founders of Farm Aid, John Denver, also performed there. Bob Dylan, John Fogerty, Foreigner.
Wow, there was a lot of names.
Hoyt Axton, yeah. Vince Gill, Vern Gosdin, Arlo Guthrie, Sammy Hagar, Merle Haggard, Daryl Hall, Emmylou Harris, Don Henley, Waylon Jennings, Billy Joel. He's another one that started Farm Aid as well.
Billy Joel. Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Miles, you know what? You guys know who that guy is. Me, I have no idea who that was. Hoyt. Maybe I would remember if I know one of their songs. But yeah, it's not ringing a bell to me.
Della and the Dealer. I mean, he pretty much had fallen out by that time, so. He
And then you had Saturday Night Live. And I think 85 was the best cast for Saturday Night Live by far.
you didn't have John Belushi at that time.
Yeah, but I still believe it was like, I want to say Eddie
Let's see here. What
Murphy. I
was
think.
season 11?
Yeah, in 85. Who was the cast in 85?
Let's see here. Let's see here. Joan Cusack,
He was good.
Robert Downey Jr.
Wait. He was a part of.
Yeah.
He was part of the cast.
Yep. Nora Dunn,
What?
Anthony Michael Hall, John Lovitz, Dennis Miller, Randy Quaid, Terry Sweeney, Denitra Vance.
What about Adam Sandler? Was that the early 90s or late 80s?
Who?
Adam,
Sandler?
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was 90s.
What about Jim Belushi?
Oh, Jim Belushi. Jim Belushi was way before that.
In the 70s?
Yeah, because him and Dan Aykroyd started the Blues Brothers, and that came out in 1980.
Okay.
So, they also did Coneheads at that time too.
What about, wasn't Steve
Gilda Radner was in the 70s as well.
Wasn't Steve Martin there too?
I think that was in the 70s as well.
But yeah, man,
The early years were the best, in my opinion. I think the late 70s cast of SNL was the best.
well, the early years were the best, but the iconic cast, I still want to say it was the late 80s and early 90s. In the early 90s, you got Adam Sandler, David Spade. Who else was there? Well, I can't remember. I think Will Ferrell was there.
No, he came in later in the 90s.
Yeah, early 90s.
I think he came later in the 90s. Will Ferrell.
But they have an iconic.
Robert Downey Jr. started on SNL.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
He's not a spring chicken.
Yeah, but I can't remember. I can't remember that. So if he was part of the cast in 85, right?
Yep.
What year did Weird Science come?
Huh?
The movie Weird Science. When did that come out? Yeah, I know that the young Robert Downey Jr. was in that movie as a teenager in Weird Science.
1985.
That came out in 85 too, Weird Science.
Yep.
How old was he back in 85?
Well, let's see here.
Because he played like a high school freshman or sophomore.
He was about 20 years old.
Wow, okay. Man.
He's about to be 60, so.
And that movie was great too, by the way.
Hey, thanks for stopping by, Mal Marker. We plan on doing this every single week, as long as we can, so.
Well, Phil, we can do it next week, but 2 weeks from now, I think we got to take a 1 week break because I'll be going on vacation with my mom, my dad, and my brother.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, we're driving up to Las Vegas, Nevada on April 7th.
Las Vegas.
And like I said, if any of you guys are around the Las Vegas area and you want to meet, I'm happy to meet you guys. So,
What year do we want to do next week?
probably go down the line. Maybe we did the mid 80s. Maybe
78.
Mid
Let's do like 78 next week.
Huh?
78.
78.
Hmm?
Yeah, sure we can.
I can have my dad's input on that one. So because
Yeah.
he was
78
sick.
would be-
So.
Yeah, that's fine with me, guys. 78. You
Yeah,
know
so
me,
next
I don't
week
do
would be
any research.
78.
But I will do my research on 78. Because that was 2 years before I was born.
And I was negative 19.
You weren't even here yet.
I was negative 19.
so yeah, I mean, thank you guys for watching the first episode there.
Hey, come back next week where we do 1978.
I mean, this took me back to my
Hang on a
childhood.
minute. I'm just curious though. What movie won Best Picture
In
in 85?
in 85.
Yeah.
I was
Amadeus.
five, so
Amadeus came out in 85.
the vampire one.
No, Amadeus, the telling of Mozart.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't remember that.
Oh wait. That was in 84. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, Platoon.
Ooh, that
Was
really?
that in 85?
That really was.
Wait a minute. No. Out of Africa, I believe.
Yeah.
Won it for 85. I think Platoon came out in 86. I don't know.
I thought it was
Platoon is a great movie, though. Featuring a very talented young Willem Dafoe.
There's a lot of famous guys in that movie.
One of my favorite other ones is he's more Broadway, but I do like his work in the movies as well. He's the big colonel. He's the big colonel in Platoon.
Yeah, but wasn't Charlie Sheen in that movie too?
Yes, I believe. Yeah.
And I believe that was his. I believe that was his breakout role.
Tom Berenger.
Okay. Yeah, there was a lot of
Tom
good
Berenger. Tom Berenger was he's one of my favorite actors. He played I forget who it was in Platoon. It was the Colonel, I believe. Yo, saddle up, lock and load. That's him. And then in 1993, and probably one of my favorite war movies of all time, he played General James Longstreet in the movie Gettysburg.
But do not let your kids watch Platoon.
It's a very graphic movie.
It is. It is.
And it tells an honest story, to be honest with you.
Fucking God, it is. Just.
It's an honest story. It's a real telling of what happened.
Yeah, but it's still graphical. Good God.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Anyway.
not a thing to. Yeah, if you're a little bit squeamish. Yeah.
Not for you. Not for you. Anyway, that did not come out. Out of Africa won for 85. So. I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't Back to the Future. I know that one.
Yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed too. We'll be back next week for 1978. Be sure to do some research this time, Jay. I'm kidding.
I never do it. I haven't done research in my life. Not even in high school.
It's just too much work, man.
I used to copy my friend's homework.
Anyway.
And I got a better grade than him. But I copied his work. So I don't know what happened.
We'll see. You guys take care, everyone.
Yeah, you guys have a good day and a good week if I don't see you. And is there anything you want to plug?
Oh, if you guys follow my channel up here, this is the channel name. We're going to be uploading a couple of videos this week about more economical, almost like ration or Depression era foods that are very economical and budget friendly. Going to be doing a lot more of those. Potentially looking at like dehydrators, like dehydrating foods, making very hearty foods as well. Stuff that'll last a little bit. So you guys take care.
And I have a couple of things that I want to say to you guys. Like I said, we're going to bring you a lot of content this summer. And the biggest content that I am doing this summer is I might be doing a live charity stream on this channel where I want to raise some money for the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, where they are researching why kids get cerebral palsy and find a cure for it. So that's going to be coming up probably at the end of July and beginning of August. And I am going to have some other YouTubers stop by in the live charity stream if it goes well. And also, you guys are going to get more interviews from other YouTubers, sometimes big YouTubers, sometimes small YouTubers. And I just want to plug this one channel for you guys. If you could, go to my new friend that I did an interview with. This is his channel right here. He sent me a patch, and the name of his channel is The Northwest Wind. He does stealth camping videos and all that stuff. And then if you look at the recent video I put out yesterday, that is also another friend of the channel. If you guys could go to his channel and subscribe, that'd be great. His channel name is Camping with Champion. And they're a great guy. Actually, those two guys are the nicest guys you can meet. They've been helping me out with a lot of my videos. Also, they've been plugging my channel. So I just want to give them a big shout out. And then the NFL draft is coming up in about 26 days. So I'll be doing that also.
Doing more mock drafts too.
And like I said, every Monday you're going to get a mock draft until the draft. So
Alrighty.
But like Phil said, he's gonna put out some more video on his channel.
Yep.
So if you like cooking stuff, that's
And I'll be expanding a little bit more and do like culture, maybe a little bit of history as well, like the history behind certain foods and why they did certain things, like
okay.
especially if it's from the Great Depression. You know, why did they do this during the Great Depression? Why did they do this? You know, and also if it's from another culture, just look into that culture. Why do they do that? You know, other things like that. So I'll also be hopefully expanding to other channels as well over the summer to hopefully like maybe like restoring antiques or something like that. But my first couple videos on that channel will probably be like things I'll be as I'm learning, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't be the most perfect end result, but I'm
sure it's fine.
I'm still honing my skills. So.
I'm sure it's fine.
Oh, sure.
But and don't forget, every Friday, guys, I'm on another podcast with Kenton.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to talk about the draft this Friday. All the rumors and stuff like that around the NFL.
All right.
And then Friday night, it's going to be Q&A. So if you guys want to join me, that'd be great. And that's a minor change of schedule for Monday Night Raws. Right now, Monday Night Raw is touring they're in Belgium. So, when they were in the United States, the show began at 5, but now they're touring the other side of the world. So now they changed it to 1 in the afternoon. So, so Monday Night Raw starts from 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll be doing that early.
There you go.
So yeah. But anyway, like I said, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And go to his channel and subscribe.
Yep.
And like I always say, stay safe, stay positive, and always go Pack Go. And we'll see you next time.
This has been Days Gone By. Take care, folks.
See ya.